Hello there. Instead of coffee with the Archbishop, this is cooking with the Archbishop. It was supposed to be grilling with the Archbishop, but today it's about 95, 96 degrees and sunny out on the patio, and there's no way that I was going to cook inside with these blacks on. So we moved inside, and we were going to do grilled chicken outside, and so I brought it in. And so today I'm going to show you how to go one of my go-to meals, and it's chicken pot pie. Chicken pot pie. It's so easy to do. It uses just basic stuff out there. First of all, it's the chicken. I like to use chicken thighs because they just have a lot more flavor. And yesterday I boiled them in some water and then let them cool down, and then I just picked the meat apart into little pieces. However, one of the other things that I do at times to extend it, although it's a little bit expensive, is I buy pre-cooked chicken like this. All of this stuff is supposed to be easy teasy, easy freezy. Freeze frozen vegetables, all the different things that go into the chicken pot pie. Is so simple, you can buy them in any supermarket, and it's one of my go-to comfort foods. So first you got to start off with a good gravy, and the basis of a good gravy is a good roux. And I'm using butter, about a half a stick of butter. So for every tablespoon of butter, you normally use a tablespoon of flour. And I like to use this stuff, Wondra, because it's very, very fine flour. It makes a good roux, and when you start to pour the gravy or the stock into it, it doesn't get lumpy. It tends to be very easy to work with. So we're waiting for this to start. So when the ingredients says, oh, there we go, that's boiling away. Let me turn that down. So there's my stock is going. So I made a little stock. I kept the water from when I cooked up the thighs and left in this thing. And then I always use this stuff called Better Than Bouillon, because I think it makes the best kind of addition to the stock that we use for something like this, or anything that you really want to get some good chicken flavor. However, the one thing you got to be careful of is very salty. So whenever I'm cooking with this stuff, I don't put any other salt in anything until I'm sure I can get the right taste. I taste at the end, and then I might add some things. So I put a little bit of Better Than Bouillon in this, so I got a nice, sweet stock, very tasty from the chicken that I cooked, and also from the Better Than Bouillon that I have. Also, in addition, so I have a half a bag left over of white pearl onions. Father Anthony Federico, when we eat this, he calls them my onion bombs that are in there. A bag of carrots, frozen carrots, and a bag of sweet peas. And we're good to go, I think. Let's just see how this is going. Waiting for that to get down a little bit. Almost there in terms of just the butter melting. So I love to cook. This is comfort food. I've got some stuff for beef stew later on in the week. Also, I do that pretty much during the morning before I go off to work and leave it in the slow cooker. I love to cook on the grill. We are going to cook on the grill. We just have to get to the place where it's not so hot outside. And the chef is not going to cook as well. He's just going to be out there cooking. All right, so the butter is melted. It's foaming away. And here's, I'm going to take my Wondra, stick that in there. So I put in 4 things. I'm going to put in at least 4 of these. I want to see how it comes out. You know what? I'm going to do 5. I like to cook by eye. All right. So now I stir it around, give it a nice little shuffle. Now some people will take a roux like this and they'll really cook it down and get it brown. The only thing I don't like about that is it doesn't thicken as well. It gives you a good flavor and nice and tasty, but it doesn't thicken as well. So I usually just get it to the point where it's like it's just starting to get a little ground. And now I start to pour the juice in. And you can see how it's going to start to bubble up. Okay, put the first bit in, stir it around real fast so I don't get lumps. Oh, it's nice and thick already. Plenty of time for this. Let's shut that off. Also do it again. Okay. So now I've made my gravy. And now what you can do with this, is you can either add thyme, which I'm going to do, or once in a while I'll use a lot of tarragon, and it gives a whole different flavor to the chicken pot pie. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to start to add my veggies. And my thyme. That's what I was doing. A lot of thyme. And I'll add some pepper to it as well. When we get to the point where I'm doing that, okay, stir this around. You can see that I don't do this all the time. And put that back in there. Now, I can add my chicken right now, but the chicken's already cooked, so there's no need to do so. So I take out my bag of onions. Add a little bit of pearl onions to it. Okay. Whole bag of carrots. Very healthy. See, it starts to slow stuff down right away. Probably should have cut this before we started the shoot, huh? But this is something you can do right when you get home, as long as you have the ingredients. It doesn't take long. It's a real crowd pleaser, especially for if you have leftovers with it, which we always seem to, which actually in this house we don't tend to have leftovers. And bag of peas. Stir it around. Okay, now I have my chicken from yesterday, and I'll see if I need more. Yeah, I could add some more. I don't have to. I got a lot of veggies in there. Let's see. Put this back on, get it up to speed. You know what? Why not? A little bit more chicken. Make it a little bit extravagant. Okay, let me give it a taste. It's good. I know what I'm doing. A little bit of pepper. Once that gets heated up again, put it in here. Okay. Oven's going to be at 425. Now, one of the other things I do, oops, don't step out of the camera, is I use prepared pie crust from the Pop and Fresh dough aisle. And it's easy. I don't have to make it. Some people like to use biscuits. Some people like to use pastry, shell puff pastry. I use this pie dough, and I cut it a little bit. I look at the measure I've got. It's about there. It's about there. Okay, about an inch on each side. Set that aside. Always spray with a little bit of vegetable oil so as to prevent. Okay. This is all heated up. And let's go with this right in there. Look at that. Amazing. Now, sometimes you have to kind of move stuff around because you get too much juice on one side. You got to kind of make it better. Perfect measure for a dish this size. See that, folks? Okay. Now, pie dough on top. Any that's left over, I usually just tuck them on the ends. Didn't make it to the floor. Good. And to give it a little bit, oops, vent holes. A little bit of milk on top for caramelization. So you get a nice little bit of, it helps brown the top of the crust. This will go in for 12, I gotta watch it, 12 to 15 minutes at 425. Set timer for 12 minutes. Okay, so now, put that away. I'm gonna put this in at 450 for 10 to 12. I'm gonna check it at 12 minutes. This oven tends to run a little bit less than temp, but I'll watch it just in case. Oh, there's where I left my cookie sheet. So, back in about 12 minutes. Okay, it's time to take it out of the oven. I've been watching it and it's getting nice and crispy and brown on the top. And let's see what we got. Ooh, baby. This is good food. Look at that bubbling away there, my friends. Nice and done. The boys are gonna have a feast tonight. I almost always serve this with stovetop stuffing. And tonight we're having fresh corn on the cob from one of the local farm stands and some salad. And also some cranberry sauce. It's a really delicious meal. And you know what the best thing about it is? It's the leftovers are good too. So, I'm gonna end this session with this non-alcoholic beer. And I'm gonna enjoy it down now after doing some cooking. And you've been watching Cooking with the Archbishop. God bless.